All right, what's happening, YouTube? Welcome back from, well, if you're just watching these, I guess from nothing. Today we're going to be journalizing and posting adjusting entries. So the instructions for today, kind of shut the door. The instructions for today state: use page 4 of the General Journal, journalize and post your entries, save your work for 8-2. So what we are given is this: a partial worksheet where the 8-column worksheet where they've cut off the first and second, the trial balance, because we don't need them. And the first part, 8-1, is journalizing the adjusting entries. So the adjusting entries are these guys. It's where you had an asset account, supplies, decrease over the course of a month. And so you had supplies expense as a debit, and then you also had prepaid insurance decrease, so insurance expense got an increase. So these are the things that we're going to journalize and then post right now. So on your general journal, this should look familiar from chapter like 3 and 4 and 5 and a little bit of 6. It says we're going to use page 4 of the general journal, so label this page 4. And now you are reaching a part of the general journal that is going to be different than all of the other transactions. Remember, this 8-column worksheet and this whole like balance thing is happening at the end of the month. So you journalize all your transactions, you post to the ledgers, then you do that 8-column worksheet, then you do your income statement balance sheet. Now you're kind of going back and cleaning up some of the stuff from the 8-column worksheet. So we're going to center the words adjusting entries to let yourself know that we're no longer just posting regular stuff like it's the regular month. We are now into a new section that all will occur on the last day of that month, the 31st. And they're a little bit different than regular accounts. So your adjusting entry is going to be the two things from the front. So let's do supplies first, since it's first. How do we always list, or what do we always do first on the general journal? The date. Good. So this is July 31st. And then what type of thing always goes first? The debit. Good. So for supplies and its supplies expense, which one is being debited? Supplies expense. So we have supplies expense. And it is a 713 debit. And then we have supplies as the credit. And you remember you indent your account. And it's a 713 credit. So that is a journalized adjustment. We have one more to journalize. Prepaid insurance and insurance expense. Much like the last one, the expense is the thing being debited. It's a $300 debit. So we're going to go the 31st. Insurance expense. It is $300. And then prepaid insurance for $300. Insurance. If you recall, these middle two columns, doc number is usually the proof, like check or receipt. The proof of this transaction is just the 8-column worksheet because that's where we're taking it from. And then the proof of this is from our math. So there's nothing that we put in the doc number. And then the posting reference number is where we're going to post these to our ledgers. So we have now journalized. Now we have to post. So if you see the next part of your document, you have all of the ledger accounts, and we're going to update our ledgers. So let's do the first one first. Supplies expense on July 31st. It's a 713 debit. So find your supplies expense journal. Here's all your, or ledger, sorry. Here's all your other ledgers. Found it. So supplies expense. This is occurring on July 31st. For the first time ever, we're going to use this column, this item column. Item is a note to yourself, the accountant, that something is a little bit different. So you're going to write adjustment. Okay? So that tells you this number came from an adjustment, which then you can look back at. The posting reference number is where we're pulling this post from. So this is from the G4, 3, or yeah, G4. G4. And it was a 713 debit, which brings my balance to 713. So now supplies expense has a balance. The last thing you do for this transaction is we just posted to account number 540. So back on here, we're going to put 540 in the posting reference number. Next, we have supplies. It's a 713 credit. So find your supplies ledger. Supplies. This is happening on July 31st. This is an adjustment. This is coming from the G4. And it is a credit of 713. Ruh-roh. We currently have a balance on the debit side, and we are crediting it. So what do I have to do? Subtract. Good. So when I subtract these, 0, 5, 2, you get 250 buccarinos. My account number is 140. So go back and throw 140 right here for supplies. No. Next one, we have insurance expense and prepaid insurance. We're going to post these, bless you. So find insurance expense. This is occurring on July 31st. This is an adjustment. This is coming from the G4. Bingo. No. It is for $300. And again, remember that comes straight from the journal, straight from the 8-column worksheet.
No, they might let us out early. I'm telling you what. Dude, the day that happens, I'm literally gonna come straight here. I'd be like, I'm not even gonna say anything, I'm literally just gonna stand right here. Like, soon as you hear it on the announcement,
I'm just gonna go home.
I'll be here not 5 minutes after.
I will hide under my desk. All right, so insurance expense. It is ledger 520. Insurance expense 5 2 0. And the last one is prepaid insurance. It's a $300 credit. Prepaid insurance. So this is happening on the 31st. It is an adjustment from the G4. It's a $300 credit, which brings the balance to $900. Account number is 150. So that is journalizing and posting from adjustments. Peace out, YouTube.